Before we begin, click subscribe to stay up to date with all of our newest video content.
This is Brandi Clymer. The knowledge tip from CS3 today is pennies matter, precise pay rates with Scissortail HCM. Scissortail's ability to deal with complicated rates based on things like shifts, piecework, departmental pay rates, and more makes tracking what to pay an employee easy. Employees have their base rate of pay, but for many companies, there are special circumstances when they need to pay something special or extra. Today we're going to talk about a couple of examples of those special circumstances for things like shift differentials, special pay for working in different departments, and piece rates. Let's start off looking at special pay for different jobs. I'm logged in as my system admin, Kathy Watts, and I've pulled up an example of an employee that gets different rates of pay when he works as a welder and another rate when he works as a welder on the weekend. Here I can see I've had him clock in on Monday, and he's worked as a welder. And if I look at his CAC detail, I can see here he's worked as a welder on Monday, and I can see he's getting $15 an hour, but his normal rate of pay on the next line is $12.02. Down on Saturday, I can see that he's getting $20 an hour when he works as a welder. And then on Sunday, he didn't work as a welder, he got $12.02. So I can set up these different types of rate tables in a couple of different places. I could set it up as a global rate table if it applied to most of my employees or all of my employees, but today I set it up as a personal rate table to apply specifically to Mitch. So let's click on the hyperlink here for Mitch. And I'm on his base comp information. So here's his normal rate of pay information. Here's his $12.02. If I scroll down just a little bit underneath it, here's where I have his rate table, his personal rate table. And I've set this up so that the top line shows he gets $20 an hour when he works as a welder on Saturday. I'm going to pull that up just so you can see a little bit more detail behind it. You can see I could have date ranges, so as he gets increases over time, I could track those here. And then here's where I can say, here's when he works as a welder. And if I scroll down just a little bit more, here's where I can say the day of the week he's working, so when he gets it on Saturday. So I have a line for Saturday, a line for Sunday. Here's what he gets when he just works as a welder, and then here's his normal rate of pay that pulls from his base compensation. You'll notice my items go from real specific items up at the top, the highest rate, but the very bottom rate is his default rate of pay that I have listed. So that's an example of departmental pay. Let's look at an example of shift differential. So let's go look at this as a global rate table. So let's go out. I'll go under My Employees, Employee Maintenance, Rates, Rate Tables. And here I can see my shift differential. You'll notice it looks really similar to what I had as my personal rate table, but it can just be applied globally. I have a couple of different items here. I've got, at the top, I get 75 cents an hour if I work in a specific department and I work shift 2. You'll notice that if I work shift 2, normally I only get 50 cents an hour. So this is another example with some departmental in it where you can see how I can get more specific, and then down at the bottom I put my more general rate. Next, let's look at an example of piecework. For things like piecework, I can actually tie those to a specific earning code. So let's pull up my earning code for piece rate. And down here toward the bottom, I've got it specifically tied to a rate table. So I can tie an earning to a specific rate table. And here on this rate table, I can see, once again, I've got a departmental. They get more if they work in this department, but 50 cents per piece. Those are a few examples of how you can simplify employee pay rates. Having a system that makes complicated things like pay rates easier, like Scissortail HCM does, it takes the hard work out of payroll.
Was this video helpful? Click subscribe to see more videos like this one.